Today, Zwift launched the biggest and most exciting development in its short history. A replica of the Alpe d'Huez climb, one of the most famous and iconic French alpine climbs. It was only launched a few hours ago, so this will be my first ride on it. So, what are we looking at then? Well, you're looking at 12 kilometres in distance, just over 1,000 metres of climbing, an 8.5% gradient average over the whole length of the climb, and of course the 21 hairpins that make Alpe d'Huez one of the most famous and iconic climbs in the world. It really is one of the must-ride climbs, and if you haven't ridden it, well, this is probably the closest you can get to riding it without leaving your living room or conservatory. So a few key details about the climb, and bear in mind that I've not ridden it yet, so I'm just reading from the press release here. There are 3 ways to ride the climb. There's a short route, a medium route and a longer route. You need to be a level 12 or above rider to access the climb, and if you ride it 25 times, yes, 25 times, you get a special badge. So I'm sure that will be popular with some of the climbers that frequent Zwift. So those are key details. As I said, I've not ridden it yet. I'm going to give it a ride now, and I'm going to record some of the highlights of the ride. I've ridden the actual Alpe d'Huez climb several times, both on its own and as part of events, and it is one of my favourite climbs. Probably not one of the toughest climbs. There are tougher climbs like the Tourmalet and Galibier, but it is one of the most exciting climbs to ride because the hairpins really give it a unique character, and it really is a fun climb to ride. So let me just take you through the climb. So this is the shortest way to ride up the new Alpe d'Huez. It's a road to sky route, and it's 19.9 kilometres and 1,144 metres of climbing. So I'm going to give it a whirl and let's see what it's like. Right, so here we go. And we're starting at the bottom of the epic climb, going up towards the entrance of the Mayan route expansion launched a couple of months ago. Still on the Mayan expansion route, but I can see ahead of me a big snow-covered mountain with some sort of monument on the top and clouds circling the summit. Looks fairly imposing from here. Looks nothing like Alpe d'Huez or in the Alps, but this is the first time Zwift has tried to replicate a real-world road or route or climb, and it would be sort of unusual to replicate the scenery and the terrain as well. So while it's replicated the actual road and the gradient, it makes sense to keep it within the very unique Zwift, and in this case Watopia sort of mould. I should probably add, while you're watching this, hopefully you're not bored yet, got any questions, do file them in the comment section below, or if you've ridden this Alpe d'Huez climb, let me know what you think. Love to hear your thoughts. Okay, so I'm about 6.8 kilometres into this road to sky route. I'm going through another gate at 7 kilometres. This all looks new so far. It's not familiar at all. Okay, at 7.3 kilometres, I'm now on Alpe du Zwift. The road looks different, the background looks different, but most interestingly, it's a new map on the top right corner. I've got a longer, more vertical map showing me where I am on the road, where other people on the road are, and show me the hairpins, and they're numbered. Right, so I'm on to Alpe d'Huez proper. I recognise this. In terms, I recognise the road, the gradient, and the direction so far. The background's very different, very Zwift, Watopia. But just like the real Alpe d'Huez, the hairpins are numbered. They count down from 21 as you go up. That really helps when you're climbing this road. Give you a mental stimulation. You know you're making progress as you tick off each hairpin turn. As you can tell, I'm a bit out of breath. The gradient kicked up to 11%. Power output's gone up. But yeah, bringing back memories riding Alpe d'Huez for real. I rode it 1 year, part of l'Etape, which traces a route of the stage of the Tour de France. It was a sweltering hot day, hit the bottom slopes at Alpe d'Huez at 40 degrees. People dehydrating and struggling with heat all over the bottom of the slopes of the climb. It's a long, hard day in the saddle that was. I think it took me about an hour. we get a real climb. I guess I'm looking at about an hour now as well, maybe more. Somebody's just overtaken me on one of those Tron bikes. I still haven't managed to get one of those yet. Now just approaching the first of the hairpins, number 21. Seemed pretty daunting when you started the climb, knowing you've got 21 hairpins ahead of you. But the hairpins in real life actually make the climb a little bit easier. Kind of levels out the gradient as you go through the hairpin, and you can kind of pick up your speed as you come out of the corner. And it's been a few years since I've been in the climb for real, so my memory is a bit faded. Right, coming back to me now though, just switch to a different camera angle. Give you a closer view as I approach the first hairpin. Might just get out of the saddle for a little bit. Hey, it's funny, I've not really had a good look at my bike and my wheels since I've upgraded as I got through Zwift. Going for the specialised S-Width tarmac. It's not the SL6 though, it's the older SL5. Nice set of deep section wheels. That's good. Still plugging away, just approaching turn 18. So I'm just doing some reading on my phone on Wikipedia, just to kill a bit of time. The fastest time of the real outdoors was set by Contour during the 2013 Tour de France. A time of just over 37 minutes, which is staggering. I wonder how fast people get on this virtual version of outdoors. We'll soon find out. But so far, it does feel like the real thing, ignoring the scenery, but the gradient, the way the road twisting around the mountain, it feels familiar, which I reckon means they've done a good job of replicating the twists and turns and the subtle gradient differences on the real road. So as you watch my avatar, I feel like my saddle's a bit too low to you. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Oh crikey, a really steep bit coming up now. Just approaching turn 13. Gradient up to 11%. I do like how the double figures go into red. Just a visual reminder that it's getting hard, really hard. The scenery's starting to change a bit now as well. The trees are thinning out a bit, a lot more snow. Gives that sort of sense of altitude gain basically. A little bit of trivia about the hairpins as I approach hairpin 12 and the gradient kicks up again. Each hairpin named after a pro rider that won a stage of outdoors in the Tour de France. That's a bad time to take a phone call. I'm not going to answer it of course. Right, I'll start again. Each of the hairpins is named after a rider, a pro rider that won a stage of outdoors using the Tour de France. The first rider to do so was Coppi in 1952, and each subsequent hairpin was named after the next rider that won a stage of outdoors. And all the hairpins have now been named because outdoors has been a regular fixture of Tour de France over the years, to the point where they start going from the bottom to the top again. So the background, the terrain, the landscape is starting to change quite a bit now. The trees are a bit thinner, there's a lot more snow around. It really gives that sense of altitude gained. Another bit of detail on the map that I hadn't noticed at the beginning was at the bottom it shows the number of hairpins I've ticked off. So it's showing currently that I've ticked off 10 off 22. So a little way to go yet as I approach. Quite an impressive looking castle or lookout tower. Some interesting architecture going on in Watopia. Doesn't feel very French, that's for sure. More Germanic. I wonder why. Anyway, the gradient kicking up again, so I'm going to sign off for a little while. We're just approaching turn 7, better known as Dutch Corner. If you've ever been to watch outdoors when Tour de France gone up it, you know why. The corner is swamped by Dutch fans. And the reason? Because more riders of Dutch nationality have won stages of outdoors during the Tour de France than any other nation. which is quite incredible if you think about it really. Just goes to show you don't have to come from a mountainous country to succeed on Alpe d'Huez. Just need to be a bloody good rider with a massive VO2 max. And quite nice at Zwift. Let's mark this with lots of orange tent and flags, but maybe some actual virtual spectators would be rather neat. Anyway, turn 7, and the terrain has changed so much in the last 30 minutes. I'm now looking at snowy peaks ahead of me. Not many trees, lots of rocks. It's snowing lightly. Bit cloudy, a lot of blue sky though. So actually well forecast. Yeah, it looks good so far. So just a few more hairpins to go. I've just crested 900 metres of climbing, so it must be nearly at the summit. The one observation I will share with you is that the distance between the hairpins at the top of the climb are much longer than they are at the bottom. At the bottom they're quite compact and you take off the hairpins quite quickly, but towards the top that distance grows. So just approaching hairpin number 4 with 916 metres of climbing on the clock, so must be nearly there. I hope they've got a cafe at the top. We definitely do an ice cream. Nearly there. So I'm impressed so far. It's a fairly realistic recreation of Alpe d'Huez. Not identical, but the gradient, the road feels very similar. It's not as hard. I think to get the full effect, you need to tweak the realistic settings in the settings for Zwift, just to make the gradient feel a bit more realistic. Just approaching turn 1, very near there. I'm so impressed with this so far. Yes, it's not like the real thing at all. Nothing compares to riding in the real world, but it's not far off. I've been climbing for 62 minutes so far, and it definitely feels like it. I think it's clear this edition of Alpe d'Huez will be hugely popular with the current Zwift audience, and will probably lead to increased subs as well. The problem for British cyclists training for an event like the Marmot or a Tap or a Grand Fondo is how the hell do you train for an hour climb when you don't have hour climb to train on. Hill repeats have always been the solution in the past, but here is a really good way of doing an hour long climb. It's realistic, it's immersive, it hurts. So yeah, I think that's going to be pretty big for Zwift, and probably come along at just the right time as spring and here in the UK is starting to roll around and riding outdoors is becoming more appealing as the weather improves. Can't really get the sweat on now. There you go, hairpin 1. The gradient's starting to ease out a little bit. Final push. Even this looks pretty realistic. Got the hotels at the top. Those 2 giant statues aren't there in the real world, I can assure you of that. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what they do at the top of the mountain. They just send you back down. And they're going to take ages to freewheel down to the bottom. Or they have some sort of neat teleporting device. Get you back down to sea level. Soon find out. Just catching somebody. D Hicks coming past. Eat my dust. Very slow overtake there. They just flashed up onto my screen. There's a countdown to the summit. We've got 470 metres to go, giving an ETA of 67 minutes. That's not a quick time. I've done it quicker in real life. I'm sure you guys are doing much quicker than me. I'd love to hear what sort of times you're managing. Do let me know in the comment section below. I'm not sure if I'll go down and do another climb now. Might give it a rest to do it tomorrow. Now I've laid down a benchmark. It's always a way, isn't it? Pouring down a rain when you get on the trainer. As soon as you do, the bloody sun comes out. Oh well. I'm doing it to deliver you a nice little preview or first ride of a brand new Alpe du Zwift. 230 metres to go. It looks like riders coming back down. That'll be an interesting, I suppose, recovery, freewheeling back down the mountain. I think given I've been on the bike for an hour and 20, probably call it quits there. So I've worked out, before you get to the bottom of the actual climb, you're looking at 15 minutes on the shortest route. So it's worth factoring in. It's not just the 1,000-metre climb, you've got a bit of warm up before you get there. And as I crest the final summit, I'm looking at 1,140 metres from 19.7 kilometres and an hour and 22 in total. Sticking the big ring for a blast across the finish line. And there we go, my first ascent of Alpe du Zwift, or Alpe d'Huez. Got a nice spinning wheel graphic. You have unlocked the laser bullet helmet. Experience a perfect combination of aero and ventilation. Wow, I'm excited. I don't wear a helmet in Zwift. Why would you? There isn't much up here, certainly a bit quieter than the real Alpe d'Huez summit. No hotels, no hordes of people and cars. Not much fanfare, no spectators. Where are they all? Where's my adoring fans? That looks like a moon landscape. I expect a bit more on this. And I can't find the cafe or an ice cream shop at all. Disappointing, Zwift. I tell you what, just leave you a bit sore down below. Been on the saddle for an hour and 20 without moving around. If you've got any remedies for curing that, do let me know. Extra pair of shorts, a stake down the shorts, cushion. Let me know what you're using. Well, that was a pretty tough ride, even though I wasn't absolutely smashing it. A decent hour effort. I see it being really popular. Races up here would be tough, that's for sure. But yeah, so that's an hour and 25 all in, 21 kilometres, just over 1,100 metres of climbing. Not bad at all. And now it does look like we are just going to spin back down the mountain. So there we go, my first ride up Alpe du Zwift, or Alpe d'Huez. Pretty interesting, I think pretty cool. Definitely going to be really popular. So I hope you enjoyed this little preview. If you did, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe for more videos like this. And if you're interested in rocker plates and making indoor training more realistic, click the video just down below. And if you want to know what bike I'm riding right now, click the video in the top corner. So that's all for now. I'm going to get a recovery shake, a little lie down. I'll see you again next time.